On this episode of Tools with Tools, we come down to Moab for Easter Jeep Safari in my 1979 Jeep CJ and break the On this episode of Tools with Tools, we take my 1979 Stretch CJ7 down to Easter Jeep Safari 2021. This Jeep was built on a college budget, so in the Tools with Tools fashion, it's held together with zip ties and faith. I've put less than 1,000 miles on this Jeep, so naturally I'm still shaking her down. All I know is that we're in for an adventure. Alright, we got the Jeep on the trailer, but more importantly, we have our emotional support skeleton going down to Easter Jeep Safari with us this year. His name is Bucky. He comes with us every year to Easter Jeep. On the way down to Easter Jeep Safari this year, I wanted to do a little experiment. I always wondered if you took a pellet grill, put it in the bed of your truck, and drove with a generator powering the grill, if you could actually smoke some meat while you were driving. So I thought, hey, why don't we get a pork shoulder and smoke it on our way to Easter Jeep Safari? This is probably the most genius thing I've ever done. Fucking pork butt. Check it out. We got the Honda hooked up. And it is working. The smoker is on. We're gonna be driving and smoking a pork butt. We got a full tank of gas, good oil pressure. I did say to change my engine oil soon. Let's see, oh, 253 degrees and the meat temperature is 136. I think we're ready to f***ing roll.
The drive to Moab went smooth, just the way we like it.
We made it, and there's a load of traffic here, which is kind of normal for Moab this time of year. But nonetheless, we are here, and I rolled down the windows, and I can smell that smoky treats just while we're driving through town. It's amazing. We got the Jeep dropped off. Leia's taking a snoozle. We're gonna check out how our pork butt is looking. Oh, yeah. Started at 7 o'clock this morning, baby. Oh, look at how that thing turned out. Turned out super good. Nice. Now we're just pulling it, making some pulled pork sandwiches. It's been a good day. Tomorrow I think we're gonna go on some hikes and maybe hit some Jeep trails, so see you then. We kicked it at camp for the rest of the night and looked forward to the next day we had ahead. Well, it is Tuesday, which is the second day, I guess, of Easter Jeep Safari week. Typically, we don't do Easter Jeep Safari because it takes a long time when you're behind a group of like 40 or 50 people all trying to do all the hard shit. So today, we got my wife in the back, we got Leia, and of course DJ. Decided we would just do some easy stuff in the truck this morning. So we did Gemini bridges right now. And we already went to the top. Now we're gonna drive down and see if we can take a look at them from the bottom. And I think later tonight we're gonna do fins and things, which is just an easy shakedown trail. Just something to do real quick out of camp. To get to the bottom of Gemini bridges, follow signs for Bull Canyon Road. This canyon is a really nice canyon with some high walls and a sandy wash bottom. It made for a nice drive. Well, we got the old truck down here. This is a pretty cool little canyon. You kind of just follow these big canyon walls here. And this is where the trailhead to Gemini Bridges is, to look at it from the bottom. I don't know if you can see the marker over there. So we're gonna go ahead and walk up in there.
So, out here in Moab, there are specific rules about what you can and can't do. So no driving open-top Jeeps. If you have an ATV, it can't have gears for wheels. This man has a very large nose, and that's obviously illegal. And if you're gonna ride a bike, wear a helmet.
Moab and Canyonlands always have spectacular views and plenty to explore.
Leia was happy to get out and explore for herself too. I rate canyons strictly off of their echo quality. In a previous episode of Tools with Tools, I put a train horn in the truck just for this purpose. I'll give it like a 4 out of 10. That was pretty weak sauce. Well, we'd had enough fun and decided it was time to head back to camp. We're a truck in a sea of Jeeps. Just caught up with the Jeep Safari coming out of Gold Bar Rim. Alright, we're back here at camp. I think we're going to run and do fins and things really quick. It's close. It's just up here in the Sand Flats Recreation Area in my 1979 Jeep CJ. Should take us about 3 to 4 hours. We're going to hit the store on the way back and have a good time. Let's roll. Fins and Things is a heavily trafficked Jeep trail in the Sand Flats Recreational Area. It rates a 4 out of 10 on the difficulty scale and has lots of steep slick rock and good views. So we're off-roading, we're having a good time. And my steering column came loose. It's just this little slip thing that they've got in there, so we'll just tighten that back up and get back on the trail, right?
Words just cannot describe how steep this place really can be.
It's pretty liberal. It's just steep. As you can see, you basically go from ground to sky. Your tires can slip sometimes. So it's not that it's hard, it's just that it's a steep trail. Fins and Things is an easy trail, but it's one of my favorites because it's just so fun to get out there with your family, have a good time, and not stress about breaking stuff all the time.
That's a whole lot of sky in the windscreen.
So it randomly dies when you're up real steep, so I think we're gonna go ahead and avoid that. I don't know what the deal is with it.
As soon as people start watching.
It is a little Venus between butt cheek. Uh-oh. I think we overheated a little bit. Well, I think we figured out what the problem is. Our fan stopped working. That's why we overheated. So we're gonna let it cool down, figure out why the fan stopped. It's probably just a wire disconnected somewhere, and then we'll keep going. That would be why it stopped working.
So we just need to get those re-insulated from each other, reinstalled in such a way that they can't have a little party with the power steering pump, and then we'll be on our way. So with an event like this, we can actually do a little forensic analysis. So you can see, here's the pressure relief valve, so the coolant is dripping straight down onto the ground. So you can see we've got a little pile here where we've been sitting for a minute. So if we walk back, you can see a little bit of coolant there. There's a couple droplets along here, like there's one right there, but as we walk back down, we don't really see any more, so we know we haven't just been pushing coolant out the whole time. So hopefully this was just a minor issue. We didn't nuke the engine, and once we get the fan working again, just let her cool off a little bit and be back on the road.
Because those two wires came together, our circuit breaker popped up.
We topped off some fluids and we're ready to get back on the trail.
I don't want to be messing with a transfer case that won't stay in low range. And the deal where it kind of like sputters and dies when it's got a real high angle. So we're going to go back to camp and see if we can figure it out. We smoke up some chicken wings, drink some beer, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. A big reason that we came back to camp is I couldn't get my transfer case to stay in 4 low, so I jumped up underneath there and topped off the fluid. While I was under there, I found something that I really did not want to find. So while we were up under here, filling up the transfer case, we noticed we got a pretty good crack in the frame. It actually goes all the way down and around, and then up here on the fish plate where I extended the frame, and it's pretty no bueno. I don't want to off-road with it like that, so we got a friend of ours that's coming up. We're going to see if he can bring a welder, and then we can try and weld it all back together and maybe add some steel down in here too, because that's that's not good. The only place that it's still attached is up on the top rail here, so that's going to shut us down for sure. Hopefully it doesn't kill our trip, because that would suck. You can see whoever owned this Jeep CJ frame a long time ago decided to do a really bang-up job of boxing the frame, and it's not good. Huh, Leia? It is not good. Well, it is Wednesday, and as you know from yesterday, we found a cracked frame under the Jeep, and we are lucky. We got a guy that's going to save our bacon. His name is Max. The first time I ever came down to Easter Jeep Safari, I did some wheeling with him, so he lives here in town. He's got a welder, so we're going to go over there and Zeus it back together and try to do some more runs today, maybe tomorrow. So we're going to take Bucky, our emotional support skeleton, with us, because we're going to need some emotional support for this. All right, we got it in the shop here, and we're going to make some magic happen, right?
It's all going to be perfect from here on out.
No, it's not. Not even close. He's doing it all for me. I didn't even ask him to. I just wanted to borrow his tools, but he's like, "Oh, just do it." So, with the help from one Jeeper to another, we got our rig welded back together, and we were ready to fight another day. All right, well, we're back at camp now. Gonna do a little bit of work to the Jeep before we go out. I'm gonna fix our crappy trail fix. This is our fan power positive and negative, and we just kind of electrical taped it and zip tied it to get us off the trail yesterday. Our exhaust headers are loose, so I need to tighten those up. And I'll probably just button up a little bit of wiring here. I'm gonna check the fuel filter to make sure that it's not clogged, and make sure that both of my fuel pumps are running. Maybe that'll solve our fuel starvation thing. Hopefully it does. Not really sure. I think yesterday it wasn't fuel starvation. I think it was more of that weird electrical problem we've been having because it was so abrupt. Yeah. Fuel starvation is typically kind of, I don't know, it's not an abrupt die. It just kind of like sputters and then dies. And I did find a ground here that was pretty loose, and I'm pretty sure that's like the ground for the entire like engine control unit. So that's probably why it was probably just intermittently grounding out. So hopefully that fixes it. We got the header bolts tightened back up. I'm gonna check, just gonna check the fuel filter anyway. It doesn't hurt. I don't imagine it's gonna be clogged, but I'm gonna give it a shot. And hopefully we can go do some wheeling tomorrow.
So Carson, what are we doing here?
This power steering pump, when the Jeep moves like we know it does, you can see that the pulley's been hitting there. So to keep the pulley from hitting there, I'm just gonna take this piece of wood expertly, I'll not do that, but.
So yeah, you can see that nice little rub mark, the shiny spot down there. So we're just gonna massage this fender out just a little bit to give it a little more clearance.
Piece of wood in there.
Oh,
I don't think that'll leave.
That's all natural.
Maybe that'll work. I guess we'll see tomorrow.
So yeah, if you need to do this at home, a piece of wood is Jeep part number 326A, and this is the revised part number.
We topped off some fluids, did a little percussive maintenance, and we were back on our way. All right, well, it is Thursday. We are gonna go run, not really a trail, but I guess there's a dirt road, an improved road or whatever. I don't really know, I've never done this before, that goes from the top of Arches, and it comes all the way down through the park, and then I guess you leave out the main entrance. So since we're gonna do that, I gotta grab my air compressor. We're gonna put some air in my tires, because they're like 15 pounds right now, and since we're gonna be doing a little bit of driving on mainly pavement and then like an improved dirt road, we're gonna air them up to like 40. We put some air in my tires, stopped by the gas station and topped off the fuel tank, and we are on our way for another adventure. I suspect that this is the day that I will hit 1,000 hard-earned miles on this piece of Jeep CJ. My ears are bleeding because my Jeep is so loud. I'm sure some of you have heard of the obstacle white knuckle. My knuckles are more white driving the Jeep at speeds above 45 miles an hour. They're just airing down for a ride. I think we're gonna leave our tires up at 35. Well, we should be fine, should be getting out of here. All right, this is my buddy Tanner. He's gonna explain airing down.
So the process of this right here is we're airing down the tires. The whole purpose of airing down is so that your tire squishes just a little bit more when you're going over the rocks, provides a little bit better traction. So I'm using an easy inflate system right now just to air down all 4 tires. You could do it manually just by pushing in the center plug of your air down, or you buy cheap air downs online. But this will make it ride a little bit smoother on the dirt road today. Hopefully work out.
You're doing all 4 tires at once? That's pretty sweet.
So Tanner's got his fancy way of airing down tires. What do you have?
You just have these little, these are called just air downs, I guess. I got these from 4 Wheel Parts. You just screw this into your valve stem. This is the way that it works. It's pretty sweet. You just screw this on there and then it pushes the valve stem down. And then it starts to let air out, and then you can just use a normal tire pressure gauge. And it'll tell you where they're at. So that's one way you can do it. It's not so fancy, but
Cheap.
we haven't.
Trying to get Henry secured a little bit here because he's our good luck charm. And if he goes, man, we all go.
Stupid light bar keeps falling off. God. So this light bar that we have on the top of my Jeep is off of a police cruiser. So we've got the amber lights in the back, we've got takedown lights in the front. You can see those turn on. And we do have the reds and the blues, which are totally legal to have, just not legal to operate. So we'll turn those on later when we get further away from some people. Look at the Tanner back there with his air conditioning and his sway bars. I guess we're on the wrong trail. So we're going back to the highway with these guys, and I guess we gotta go up the highway a little bit further. If that isn't tools with tools, I don't know what is. This thing is just not happy. It's like cutting in and out, and we can't decide if it's electrical or if it's fuel starvation. So we're here on the side of the road. We're gonna try and figure it out. I don't know where the hell they went. They went way up there, and this thing is to drive at high speed. So we're gonna see if we can figure it out. I don't know that we're actually gonna do the run with them. And we're kind of failing at no accuracy. It's kind of depressing.
So we've been having some surging issues. So for today, we're gonna call it for the trail because we don't want to end up just stuck on the side of the trail somewhere. So we're gonna try and limp it back to camp. Unfortunately, I'm very sad to announce we have had a casualty here on Tools with Tools. Our mascot, Henry the Rabbit, has escaped his zip tie leash and gone on to a better place, I hope.
We're gonna go try and find him on the side of the highway down there.
Yeah.
If we can get Henry back, it means that we can get back on the trail, right?
Oh, that's totally how that works.
All right, well,
Henry brings good fuel circulation.
good luck. The most frustrating thing about owning an old vehicle is never knowing if it's going to work. I've spent more time working on this Jeep than I have working in my college degree.
Sometimes you hit the trail, and sometimes the trail hits back. We've proven that time and time again. But we've also proven that what really matters is just getting out there with your family, your friends, and having a good old time.
This video is only part 1 of 2, so make sure you check back later to see us actually run some trails and I get to check a big box off my Jeeping bucket list. Until next time, keep the blue side up, and get out there and live your best life. Run!